Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this very special teaching with Phakchok Rinpoche on Vesak Day, where we commemorate the birth, death, and parinirvana of Buddha Shakyamuni. My name is Peter, and I'll be serving as your MC. So today we are offering live translation in Chinese, Vietnamese, Ukrainian, Portuguese, Spanish, Thai, French, and Indonesian. If you'd like to listen in any other language, please select your language channel now. I want to offer a warm thank you to our Zoom event volunteers and interpreters who are helping everything run smoothly behind the scenes, and to allow students around the world to hear Rinpoche's precious teachings in their own language. I now invite you to scan this QR code or click the link in the meeting chat. This will guide you to a web page featuring photos and information about Avihara, Sami Malaysia Guru Lakang, Sami Bali, and more. I will speak about these soon, and Rinpoche may speak on these topics as well. With great joy, we are sharing today about great works of renovation of both historic and new sacred places, and about the profoundly meritorious work of crafting statues of the Mahaguru for historic sacred places in the Himalayas and for new sacred places abroad. We invite you to rejoice with us for activities completed and to join in the merit of activities ongoing. I will give you a moment to click on that link now or to scan the QR code. So today is Vesak Day, the full moon of the fourth lunar month, an immensely auspicious day marking Shakyamuni Buddha's birth in Lumbini, enlightenment in Bodh Gaya, and parinirvana in Kushinagar. We commemorate this day together with our sanghas in Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and Singapore who recognize Vesak on the same day. Through his great kindness, Phakchok Rinpoche is offering Dharma teachings to us today on the sutra, the Transcendent State of Wisdom, in 8,000 lines. This sutra has been translated into English and can be found on the 84,000 website. Please find a link in the chat. This is the first of a series of monthly teachings on the sutras, with Phakchok Rinpoche titled Repeating the Words of the Buddha. These teachings will continue on the first Saturday of the month throughout 2026. We are delighted to have so many people join us today for these precious teachings. To receive a reminder of the upcoming teaching events, please ensure you are subscribed to the Sami mailing list. You can join the list on the Sami Mandala and Sami Institute websites. By offering Dharma teachings on Vesak Day, Rinpoche has created a precious opportunity for us to develop our understanding of the words of the Buddha. May today's teaching also be a reminder to broaden our accumulations of merit, the gathering of conducive conditions for the path. Merit accumulated during the month of Sakadawa is said to multiply beyond measure. So, from the great life story of Guru Rinpoche, revealed by Orgyen Lingpa, it was said, the Great One of Udayana spent 3 months in Nepal, vastly benefiting the people of that land. Among them was Vasudhara, the Newar. After this, he hid treasures in the temple of A. The Avihara temple became the Mahaguru's primary seat in the Kathmandu Valley, a place where he conversed with siddhas and lay people alike. Due to Guru Rinpoche's activity, Avihara became a springboard for Tantra as its teachings moved further north. Texts and teachers streamed forth from this site, as did skilled artisans who could depict the vast pantheon of the Vajrayana's enlightened activity. So 5 years ago, during the Water Tiger year, in close collaboration with the local Newari Sangha, Phakchok Rinpoche began to oversee the renovation of the Avihara complex. Now, During this fire horse year, with great joy, we are delighted to share that the renovations of Avihara were recently completed. For 3 days, beginning on the recent Guru Rinpoche Day of Sakadawa, Rinpoche led the opening ceremonies and pujas to consecrate this temple. The temple and complex were blessed with the presence of Kyabche Chokinima Rinpoche, Tugu Organ Yangsi Rinpoche, Dogo Khyentse Yangsi Rinpoche, and Phakchok Rinpoche. And more than 500 members of the Nawari Sangha participated. Phakchok Rinpoche offered meditation teaching sessions each of these days for the local community, and the celebration of the reopening was also marked by traditional Nawari dance performances, as well as the sacred dances of White Tara and Kurukule. So now, Sami Malaysia Guru Lakang opened its doors in 2019 and was consecrated in conjunction with Phakchok Rinpoche's inaugural teachings on the Lamrim Yeshe Ningpo. Present on the main shrine is a 10-foot-tall bronze Guru Rinpoche statue with consorts Yeshe Tsogyal and Mandarava. Surrounding the Mahaguru are statues of the lineage masters of the Choling Tersar and the 12 manifestations of Guru Rinpoche according to the Tutruk Barche Kunsel. Shrines of the 12 manifestations are rare in Nepal and Bhutan, and it is likely that this is the only one in the whole of Southeast Asia. Sami Malaysia Guru Lakang was blessed by visits from Kyabche Chokinima Rinpoche, Orgyen Tokyo Rinpoche, Tsokni Rinpoche, and Kyabche Kempo Rinpoche. In addition to 4 monthly group practices and annual teachings by Phakchok Rinpoche, the Guru Lakang periodically hosts senior lamas from Kanyin Shedrubling Monastery to conduct teachings, pujas, and retreats. Major pujas are also hosted on the Lunar New Year period and Ulambana, the ghost month. Once renovations are completed, the new Guru Lakang premises in the heart of Kuala Lumpur will be a space for learning, meditation, discussion, and practice, suited to our modern time but deeply rooted in the tradition of the Choling Tersar. The Sami Malaysia Sangha is working to complete certain major aspects of the renovations of the new location this year. From November 28th to the 30th of 2026, Phakchok Rinpoche will lead a 3-day Tutruk Barche Kunsel Tsokpum at the Guru Lakang, and we welcome you all to join. Furthermore, we invite you to join in supporting the Guru Lakang on a monthly basis. You can learn more through the link or the QR code. Now, in 2018, to commemorate and honor the sacred sites of Terchen Chokyur Lingpa, Phakchok Rinpoche commissioned 15 statues of Guru Rinpoche in the form of Guru Nangsi Silnan, crafted in accordance with the Choling Tersar tradition. Beautifully and traditionally made by skilled Newar artisans, 8 of these 3-foot statues were brought to Tibet and installed at treasure sites where no image of Guru Rinpoche or object of refuge previously existed. With unwavering devotion and a deep commitment to preserving the 37 sacred sites where Terchen Chokyur Lingpa revealed his most precious termas, the statues were placed on auspicious dates, accompanied by auspicious signs, and consecrated through the Rapne ritual, ensuring that each site continues to radiate the blessings of the Mahaguru for future generations. Sami Hermitage Bali is a peaceful retreat sanctuary dedicated to supporting the preservation and practice of the Dharma. Sami Bali offers facilities and accommodations specifically designed for practitioners undertaking both short-term and long-term retreats. One of the most significant features of the Hermitage is the magnificent 5-meter stone statue of Guru Sampalundrup, the manifestation of Guru Rinpoche, who spontaneously fulfills all wishes. This form is especially associated with granting blessings, removing obstacles, and protecting practitioners from adversity and unfavorable circumstances. The statue was consecrated by Phakchok Rinpoche in 2023. Within the statue are numerous sacred relics personally placed inside under Rinpoche's guidance. Since 2023, Sami Hermitage Bali has organized annual retreat programs which include 10-day Ngundro retreats, 10-day concise daily practice retreats, and 35-day Trinley Ningpo retreats. These retreats provide practitioners with the opportunity to receive authentic teachings, deepen their understanding of the Dharma, and strengthen their daily practice. With regards to the Lakang of Sami, Bali, we would like to share an opportunity to join in the merit of 1,000 Guru Rinpoche statues presiding in the shrine hall. Each statue is 6 centimeters tall and bears a name of dedication chosen by the benefactor. To learn more, please refer to the link or QR code. This concludes our announcements. Rinpoche Lao, with gratitude, we respectfully request you to please turn the wheel of Dharma. And Rinpoche may be a few moments, so while we wait, we can just rest in meditation. Okay.
탑지 투지 샤지를 손총 신지 메도 두지 봉점바 스리지 롬보 따오르지 베고 샤기 자비 첼라 소르반데 만남 가다냐베 셈젠 탐제 라마 상제 rem보 첼라 소르반데 만남 가다냐베 셈젠 탐제 라마 도르르 추지 골라 소르반데 만남 가다냐베 셈젠 탐제 라마 투지 뚜베 골라 소르반데 Lo cho zon do ra shin je lab do so cho lam don do ra shin je lab do so lam turba se ra shin je lab do so turba yi shi so cha ra shin je lab do so gong jo to ba pho ra shin je lab do so do zan de ro tun de ni ro ngom ba zo ba sang je ba ra shin je lab do so our today Tibetan calendar month of Sakandawa, the Buddha birth, Buddha's parinirvana, and Buddha's enlightenment. This full moon day, I take this opportunity to begin the first series of repeating word of the Buddhas. So my aspiration that I take to go on in the Buddha's sutras, specifically this time 8,000 verse Panchaparamita Sutra, the first chapter. And the whole intention is, I mentioned before that we translate 84,000 Gyabjin Dzongsa Khyentse Rinpoche's project to translate all the Buddha's texts. And now this is easy to everybody to able to read. And then because of everybody have their own level of their own capability, and I wonder that misunderstanding, wrong understanding, partial understanding could be very much possible. So as a myself follower of the Buddha, and based on this teaching going to be much more experiential base, not philosophical base. It's not going to be commentary of a word commentary, but is a kind of essential meaning of the chapter by chapter. That is what I wish and my aspiration is. So what we should know is the first chapter of 8,000 words Panchaparamita. It's actually called the Omniscient Buddha's Perception, or the perception of omniscience, meaning what the Buddha, how Buddha sees ultimately, and what is the pathway to us to able to realize that. So this actually have a thought and conversation with few of the students taught in Vulture Peak, where it's in India. I think this we all have idea. And the beginning approach, I think, is very crucial that the disciples, Sharipu, Rabjor, conversation, question, answers, is entirely blessing from the Buddhas. Because of the Buddha's blessing, because of the Buddha's guidance, presence, that disciples able to understand, able to practice, able to have discussions. So that shows one very important for us. Can you hear me? So Jasper is putting a lot of actually effort here because I'm in not in Kathmandu, Bodha. I'm in our retreat place in Asura cave. So that's why light coming in, going out, and internet things is kind of a part of the life here. So now one thing we should know is all of us is actually presence of the Buddha's blessings is already attached to all of us. The reason behind is able to listen Buddha's heart teachings, specifically 8,000 words Panchaparamita Sutra, and especially the first chapter, already giving us kind of proof that actually we have a touch and presence of the Buddhas, all the Buddhas, and our Buddha Shakyamuni. That is number one, most important to highlight. So that shows clearly that anybody we want to have a so-called realization, then we need to have Buddha's blessings. So now, the word of the blessings. So what is actually means word of the blessings? Blessings actually means when your mind is completely becomes benefit itself towards on mind, meaning helps, skillful means, the mind is become a very perfect condition to able to let go all the clingings, and without any fear, without any uncomfortableness, without any feeling of lost. Yeah, So our mind is easily sort of relax all the clingings, meaning all the holdings like me, you, my nature, I am, my meditation, all of that. Basically, all the mental functions is we call clinging. Okay, so we actually have less clinging, and we able to let go of clinging easily. Actually, calls is we call blessings, and to have that we call. I think don't use camera at all. Use this one because we could keep. So again, light went off. So we're not going to use camera now. We could use the iPad, I computer, Apple computer. You can hear me now? Okay, good. So yeah, that is the blessings. Now, how to able to increase the blessings is first you need to take refuge. That is the whole purpose, actually taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And specifically, Buddha actually taught, and especially in the sutras, they're saying the ultimate Buddha is the ultimate refuge is the Buddha, and ultimate Buddha is actually emptiness. So that's why taking refuge before meditation, in the meditation, in the session in the meditation, after is significant importance, because without the Buddha's presence and thinking of the Buddha, we're not able to have let go of all the clingings. So that is the thing to remember. Then he they begins to discuss about what is actually Mahayana vehicle, what is actually mean Bodhisattva or Mahasattva. This is kind of description it begins. But then immediately, just very shortly, they're saying that Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, they're able to practice Panchaparamita. So now they're saying that what is actually means meditation of Panchaparamita? That is the question. What is means meditation of Panchaparamita? And Bodhisattva says, the Bodhisattva, when the mind does not have any attachment, any form of attachment, any form of clinging, that is actually means meditation of Panchaparamita. Okay? Then the question is why mind need to be let go of all the attachment and clinging. Then they repeatedly says the mind is not exist, truly not exist, and nature of mind is luminosity. That famous quote is the reason behind that the Panchaparamitas meditation is actually non-meditation or non-conception meditation or non-attached meditation. So now how we should begin with this practice? So I want to give you very simple key points. All of the practices that we learn, especially Vajrayana, such as refuge, bodhicitta, prostration, confessing, offerings, accumulation merit is offerings, uh, rejoicing, requesting to teach Dharma, like seven branches. I'm repeating 7 branches. And all these form of practices that we do, such as Vajrayana point of view, like Vajrasattva, mandala offering, all this form of practices that we do, we call preliminary practice. For example, do you remember in the six paramitas, giving, generosity, giving, discipline, meaning shila, diligence, patience, meditations, all these five before the Panchaparamita, the six. All that practices, we must know one key point. Because I know many of us, we are very inspired by Buddha's teachings and many great teachers, their charisma, their presence, their blessings, their guidance. We are very happy to practice. But I know many of us, we forget one crucial key points. That is, every single practice that we do, included mantra chanting, is a skillful mean for reducing and letting go of some form of clinging. So whatever practice you do is actually is not about um, getting spiritual path or somewhere you need to reach or some great realization or some form of how you say great feelings or experiences. All this is actually you are actually going away from the true essential faith in teachings. My own experiences, the whole teachings that Buddha given, and what we actually doing now in the Vajrayana and six paramitas, is a one of method to reduce and letting go of some form of attachment. For example, generosity, giving is some form of attachment towards things. Discipline, discipline is some form of letting go of your own wrongdoing or your negative emotions or so being patient is actually letting go of attachment towards your anger. Prostration, doing prostration, bowing is actually a form of letting go of attachment to your own pride. So every single practice, what we're doing every day, actually you need to direct towards letting go and reduce of attachment and form of clinging. You need to reduce, form of clinging or attachment. When that happens, then the idea of the beginning, the mind is not truly exists, is the beginning of the preliminary practice of Panchaparamita. So mind is truly not exist, is beginning of actually in the same chapter mentions the mind. When we say mind, thought, memory, feelings, concepts, and awareness that right now you are presently you have it. When you listening to my voice, when you looking to me, that awareness. All that form, all that different varieties, we call together called mind. I make very simplify, okay? So now you need to examine, for example, a thought or the awareness. The moment you're aware, the past is gone, present is actually not able to stay, the future is not yet come. The moment that came is gone. Feelings, memories, awareness, thought, everything is go on very fast without any substantial. They don't really last. So that gives us a little bit of a short kind of realization, like a vipassana realization, that actually our mind that we thought, we believe that is solid, is a permanent, is a continuum, is something real exist. That view, that belief is shattered. So why is so important? Because when we start resting our mind, letting go all the attachment, why many people feel uncomfortable on that meditation? Why practice a spiritual practice or Dharma practice? They are the identity of practitioner is very gently present and doing the practices. Everybody feel comfortable with that. Then we saying that, oh, Rinpoche, I realized this today. Rinpoche, I had that experience today. I had that feeling. The Rinpoche's feeling is correct or not correct. Generally, we are actually going around and again, round and round on the same story of clinging, attachment, not actually going beyond, seeing that truly how we attach to it in the spiritual practices, in the practice itself. So that's why mind is not truly exists. It's giving us the great guideline of by the Buddha. Before you do anything of Panchaparamita meditation, you really need to understand that letting go of attachment and clinging is the most important part of the meditation. Then the nature is a luminosity is mentioned. Now, when the mind is not truly exists, the nature itself, the luminosity, is not really clearly explained in the beginning. But Buddha mentioned that mind is not truly exists means its nature is unchanged and unchanged and free from all our mental function, meaning free from thoughts. So then again, Buddha mentioned that, in this particular here conversation, saying that when you want to achieve level of nirvana, free from samsara, or you want to achieve realization of Patika Buddha, meaning the one part of the nirvana, or you want to achieve the Buddhahood, you all need to practice Panchaparamita meditation. So now, again, how you say, the most important part here, because there doesn't have no form of so now is my own experiences when I beginning practicing meditation. I was not a kind of a great student who has a direct realization. Then I gain, the great Rinpoches in the past like that. I was not like this. I was a very much gradual and very much step by step progress. So in the beginning of a time when I heard about nothing is exists and all that, first I cannot understood what is actually saying. What does not mean exist? Huh? Nothing is exist, not all that. And feeling uncomfortable, I don't have it. but I never understood correctly. But I realized that many of the students, when they hear Panchaparamita's teaching, such as your mind is not exist, your mind is never began, not born, form is not born, feeling is not born, huh? And your consciousness is not born, it's not going to cease, that kind of question. We already have a little bit of loss, because we're saying that how can these five aggregates, meaning the form, the feeling, the formation, the concept, the mind, how can it not able to arise? It's already here. So our mind is so much uh, absolute belief, everything exists, and we're looking from that lens. We never had asked a question about who's seeing this. What I'm seeing is real exists. Who is actually seeing this? Like everybody asking me, many people, Rinpoche, what is my purpose of life? Why, Rinpoche, I'm here? See, the question, what is my purpose of life? Why I'm here? Rinpoche, what is my future meaningful life? All this question is based believing that I am exist here, and now you want to ask all the questions. So many of our practices is never able to touch the true teachings. Somehow we always find a way of excuses and finding a way astray from the true teachings. True teaching meaning what Buddha realized under the Bodhi tree, that the emptiness, the nature, how he able to realize, and how we should realize that. So, so when you feel uncomfortable, or you don't feel brave enough to hear these teachings, or you cannot let go of your clinging, or you feel, how you say, fear on that emptiness, means you're not able to find a good Dharma brother and sister and gurus. In this first chapter, it's going to come later, but I'm going to say now, Buddha actually said that depend on the good guru and good Dharma brothers and sisters, siblings, Dharma brothers, sisters, and siblings, as is how you know they are good and bad, or they're skillful or not skillful. It depends on how you see the emptiness without any fear or with fear. That is how you actually distinguish you're having good teacher or good Dharma brothers and sister or not. So now coming back to that, what is means practice of meditation of Panchaparamita? So again, Buddha really goes very detailedly, no clinging to all the five aggregates, and seeing all the phenomena they never exist, and this is the only Bodhisattva's thing, and not only the form, but all the dharmas, included Buddha's wisdom, included all the nature, emptiness itself. You don't have no grasping towards that. Is nothing to hold on, nothing to attach to, nothing to grasp. That is actually Panchaparamitas. And the reason behind is they one disciple, he able to have a great devotion to the Dharma and to able to gain the Buddha's wisdom. He want to gain the Buddha's wisdom, because how to gain the Buddha's wisdom is letting go of all your attachment. Now, what is letting go attachment is any characteristic. Now, as a listeners today, we are a common lay people, meaning we don't have a whole life on the meditation retreats. So how we should take that in a practical level is the you make a practice session such as 1 hour, okay, or say half an hour. Now, when you do the 1 hour and half hour session, then you practice that moment. You truly practicing to let go of all the attachment, all the clingings in that session. Okay, then now after the meditation 1 hour, then you carry on as a daily life commonly. So that I think what you can do, something to improve your practice slowly by slowly. But I'm not teaching you right now that what is actually meditation is, but I'm giving you the idea of the what is actually Buddha's try to explain and their conversation of the students. So again, they mentioning here, not having any attachment to nirvana is very important. So you can see this particular first chapter you read, they're always giving you this. I don't know the translation how they translate it, but in Tibetan this is called lomsem. Lomsem literally meaning attachment and clinging. It's kind of a between these two words, clinging and attachment. Okay, so sometimes we don't really attach to attachment is little bit more uh, gross, and clinging is can be a little bit more subtle. Yes, so that is the point. Now, when you start doing uh, non-meditation, so how we begin is this: we begin in the uh, uh, in English we say contemplation and meditation. They have a two separate method. Then we combine this together. So contemplation is more like a investigation type of that. So it's more like a question. Okay, where is I? Where is I? Where is my mind? Where is my thoughts? The awareness that I have right now, that I'm being aware, where is actually is in the depend on the three time. Like moment I wear is past, gone. So when you investigate I, you're not able to find I separately from your mind or something different entity. I is just merely a kind of you named kind of identity that you took, such as you give a name to the dogs like Roger, or cats, like some things, we give a name. Then like that, it's more like a entity that you hold on, but it's nothing substantial. Nothing exists. So when you start going through that contemplation, investigation gently in daily life, in a session, before session, in a session, what that actually does is going to crack that belief of your egg, eggshell, that we actually staying in a cocoon, the cocoon of egg is everything exists. So that cocoon is going to be shattered slowly by slowly. And then when they shattered, then slowly kind of, deepen your understanding is actually grows. I say, oh, actually it is really true why I'm like this, you sort of awakening begins. And that awakening, we don't say is experiential. We say now your awakening of understanding is beginning. So now how to put into practice is in the meditative state. First, you need to learn, of course, you look at all the Mahamudras, the meditation be divided to three sections. The first section is the mind to be, you need to be bring to the focus. So our mind is very much disorganized right now. So our thought is very habit habit of being very bad habit of doing many things, and that is something that very successful in normal life. Our mind is not so active, then we cannot achieve many things. So all the ideas and works and jobs and how you say, responsible, all these things, we need to think a lot, then you have, gadgets, and they keep answering and talking, all these things. So that is something that we have habitually daily life is life. So now when it comes to the meditation, that habit comes in together. When our mind try to focus to one place, we're not able to do it. So now I give you an idea that you have a inner mind, meaning that mind that connect, that arise as emotion level. That mind is kind of more steady, not so much grumpy, not much shaken by emotions, um, sadness, disturbed by very dramatic way. Your mental function of thoughts and feelings can bring them down easily. Thoughts and feeling in the mind is easy, but when it comes to the deepen, more deeper level, you can say, that is shaken, then it takes time. So I don't want to be, I'm not talking too much rubbish now. So basically you bring down the focus. So when you come to focus, you focus completely, meaning you imagine that your whole body, all my breath, all from my heart, completely from my mind. So you need to repeat, like you need to repeat that way. Completely, I want to focus whatever focus that you're meditating to, like breath, mantra, visualization. Okay? Completely, I'm going to focus. So that is habit. Like when you do daily life, we cannot trust 100% to one person, right? Our own people that we cannot trust 100%. We always need to stay little bit of um, kind of rethink, recheck, reconfirm. Oh, this person able to do this able to not do this. We need to be kind of reconfirming is very important. So all of us, we are kind of um, habit of not doing fully from ours. This is what my lot of people struggle. Rinpoche, I cannot do well. My meditation is not able to train completely. All these questions coming because we not able to do fully, wholly in that practice. So that's why your session is actually completely opposite of your daily life. Now, that is what you should need to understand. Your meditation is not your daily life. Meditation right now, this moment, a session, 1 hour session is completely opposite of your daily life, meaning your whole body is in the meditation. Your whole heart is in your meditation. Whole your breath is in the meditation. Whole mentally, and you repeat like that, like few times. Your body, your heart, your feeling, your mind, actually, slowly it's going to let go of your gut. The gut, always protecting, always, making sure I'm not doing, I don't trust it 100%. That gut, we don't need it right now. So basically, meditation session is what you really giving you in experiencing wholesomely is you. meaning that I'm not teaching too many rubbish things, but you meaning you really improve this way. Okay. Now you do the focus, then slowly the focus, you need to let it go, become non-focus. Now the non-focus, it takes time to master because non-focus has a clinging. So non-meditation means no clinging. The state of that meditation have no clinging whatsoever. They actually call non-meditation. So they have no clinging towards awareness. They have no being aware. Now the question is, Rinpoche, how then we let go all of that? How possible I can actually rest? Rinpoche, it's not possible. The answer is, it's possible. It's not possible in daily life. That's why you're not able to enlighten. You live like that whole life, you're never going to realize. But in the session, practice session, you slowly let go of your all the clinging and all that attachment. Then you know what is actually means mind is not truly exists, meaning no clinging whatsoever. Then only you realize luminosity. That is the true nature of emptiness. So meditation of Panchaparamita, first we need to learn to let go of meditation of form, meditation of feeling, meditation of formation, meditation of function of mental, meditation of mental clinging. Everything need to be let go. So sort of I'm giving you advice of the Buddha's teaching to become more relevant for us to understand. And Buddha is so kind, and the disciples are so kind. They give you so detailed description of not to be attached to, because imagine they only say few lines of no attachment. We're going to have a lot of issue with spiritual materialisms, 100%. So now we know emptiness meditation, Panchaparamita meditation is no clinging whatsoever. So the character is must be free from character. The base of character must be free from that. So again, now Buddha actually mentioning, oh, the consciousness is you think is consciousness. This is not meditation. Oh, you say this is consciousness. That is wrong. Oh, now consciousness arised. Oh, that is again characteristic. Oh, my consciousness is now ceased, disappeared. That is actually how you say characteristic. Characteristic actually means clinging. It's a clinging. Oh, my consciousness is emptiness. It's empty. That is actually clinging too. Oh, I'm a meditating, that is clinging too. I'm a bodhisattva, I have a feeling of bodhisattva, that is clinging too. Huh? Whatever you think and feel, that is all a clinging. So they use the word temala jodo. Temala jodo in the Tibetan, in English, normally they say characteristic. But basically what it means is clinging. Okay, so sometimes sutras they become complicated because they use same kind of meaning but different words. For example, tema is characteristic. Lomsem is like attachment. Okay, so it's all when brings down in the core is clinging. Yes, so that's why it's quite easy to understand that kind of pit instruction way to look at. So then the Buddha is repeating again and again. So Buddhas talk about they call four clinging, like existent, non-existent, both, neither is all clinging. Yeah. So What it really means to say is the nature itself, they have no clinging. So moment you realize, so now that shows clearly, Rinpoche, now mind is not really exists, Rinpoche, who really realized the emptiness, Rinpoche? That question, $1 million question. Because why $1 million question? Because everything that we learn in our daily life, from school to college, right now what you're learning is all in the mental level. So you come in a meditation session that 1 hour, automatically we rely on so much in our mind, we cannot let go of our mental function. So that's why we feel uncomfortable. So that's why Buddha actually tried to say, you don't have nothing to be cling and to perceive of any all the dharmas. You should not have any clinging and perceive of all the dharmas. So then when you resting, say that mind is not really exists, mind luminosity. The moment you're, for example, I know doing a meditation like this, being aware, non-meditation, then all my clinging disappear, dissolved. Then they have glimpses. Oh, I realized this great space. Oh, like that. Buddha said, when you are in the samadhi, that you think that you see it, you think that you perceive it, you are not in the Panchaparamitas meditation. So that gives you the idea the most subtle of clinging is a spiritual meditative concept. That concept must be let go of. So Buddha Dharma, right now in that level, right now we're discussing, is not really is beyond philosophy, is beyond way of life, is beyond religion, beyond all beliefs, beyond all the concepts. So these teachings of the Buddha is the closest to understand what is mean Buddha, what is mean nature, what is the true Dharma. So from there we realize Buddha Dharma is can you can take it anything like a believer people. Buddhism is religion. Philosopher look at the Buddhism is philosophy, way of life. Where people look at as the Buddhist teaching is Buddha way of life. People have a problem, they see Buddha's teaching is solution. But what is the true Buddha's teaching? Is free from all the clingings. That is the true teachings of the Buddha. Okay, so then so again this very famous way of contemplation, investigation that we do, that oh this moment of my mind is gone, the thought of the past mind, past thought is not is gone, and the future thought is not begin, the present moment is already gone, so you have nothing to hold on, right? This is how we investigate normally in our mind. The Buddha is mentioning this again and again. Then again, the Buddha actually talk about everything that you see, five aggregates in the world, must look at as a illusion, like a Duma. Duma means not like illusion. So everything is illusion. Now, how this bodhisattva practice is when they in the session they completely let it go of clinging and non-meditation, and then begins to gaining the realization. Now the differences here is the luminosity is not really clearly mentioned what is in the first chapter, but we can see in other chapters Buddha they have discussion anything of not we can discuss. But Mahamudra, discuss a little bit of what is luminosity means. Then Dzogchen talk about luminosity more deeper and clearer. So that is the what keeps up understand that in the Mahamudra and Dzogchen teaching is they are not really a separate path from the Buddha's teaching, but it's a more kind of giving instruction more clearer from that sense. But sometimes we should know that Dzogchen is kind of their own teachings, but that part of the meditation right now is a similar continuum of making more clearer. Now, finding good teacher is very important in good Dharma brothers and sisters. And I already mentioned this before, because the true teacher, the true Dharma brother sister, teach us what does mean Mara's act and what does mean Dharma's practice. Mara's act here specifically actually means imbalance of skillful means in wisdom. What does mean that is what I began with the teaching. I said every single practice that we learn included bodhicitta, tonglen, loving kindness, compassion, just name it. All of that is one of the method to reduce attachment and clinging. One of the clinging, one form of clinging. So knowing that skillful means is so important, accumulation merit we call that, is so important because we cannot have a huge jump from being I exist here and jumping into emptiness is very high and a very big jump. So how we should jump is first we do small practice to reduce all the attachment, all the negative things that we have, such as anger, jealousy, bad memory, angry towards somebody else, your compassion is not developed well, you're very much self-centered, you always want to gain favor for yourself. That is what we are in normal life. So spiritual practice is all form of that. Then spiritual practice actually becomes a mix with Mara's act in the Buddha's teaching. So the Mara's act, meaning you're not literally seeing clearly that actually practicing is reducing of your clinging, but kind of transforming your clinging towards something else. That's what Chögyam Trungpa Rinpoche said, spiritual materialism in 1970s and 80s. He mentioned these things. Is a form of is that word of spiritual materialism is mentioned there, but it's actually mentioned in the sutras, this kind of form, and Guru Rinpoche taught that similar, and that is one of the principle of all the meditators, true meditator. That's why here the good Guru and Guru Dharma brother and sister is teaching, must learn and teach us how to separate, how to be free from attachment and clinging from the Mara's act, and how to apply the skillful means of all the practice to reduce the clinging and attachment. And that is why we need accumulation merit is so important, significant for all our practices. So this is, mentioned here. To having intention to be benefit all the beings to and how you say free from suffering and the cause of suffering and intent enlightenment realization is very important to have that kind of intention for the bodhisattvas. But it's very important, here Buddha actually saying having egoistic or seeing your soul is exists or I exist or existent or a non-existent or permanent or seeing your body is this truly exists. All these things is not a correct understanding and is a kind of wrong view because it's all a different form of clinging who are packaged into different attachments such as some exist attachment, non-exist attachment, all this kind of stuff that is already mentioned, so I don't want to repeat again. So again, I mentioned to you all this bodhicitta is important, but the true bodhicitta is that bodhisattvas not seeing sentient being exists, not seeing the bodhisattva itself is not exists, or the bodhisattva seeing me and sentient beings to be achieving enlightenment, that kind of three level of attachment, clinging, like I see all sentient being to be free from suffering, cause of suffering, attain enlightenment, all that process of is all clinging. So what we really need is this is relative bodhicitta. We call this relative. Relative actually means mentally arise bodhicitta. We call relative bodhicitta. Okay, it's very simple understand. It's actually very simple, but the philosophical word and vocabularies are new for all of us. So that's why we are learning kind of try to understand the meaning in the word. So basically, whenever you start having mentally created bodhicitta, is important or not important? Very important. But the question is that bodhicitta need to help to arise the ultimate bodhicitta. The ultimate bodhicitta is called the meditation of no clinging, the luminosity, right? Emptiness or panchaparamita meditation is called ultimate bodhicitta. So that I think is very important to understand. That's why seeing in the meditation session, all the bodhisattva practice no clinging, but after the meditation, they see all the phenomena are illusions, not truly exist. This is how you balance life. You meditate very hard, practice very hard, emptiness, no clinging. It's almost like a blind man imagining he's seeing the world, meaning you're putting so much effort, but not knowing that you already have a problem with cataract. You're blind by cataract. You try to imagine how much you want. It's not going to help you to see. So when you have a cataract, go to the doctor, 10 minutes to do the laser, clear thing, 1 week of putting the black patch in eye. After 1 week, you can see clearly without any effort. What does mean of that is you need Buddha. You need to supplicate, take refuge, bodhicitta is so important because when you have the Buddha's presence and Buddha's blessings, and absolutely you're going to have it because our nature is the Buddha. So whenever our mind goes towards nature, it's very easy. So now the question is, Rinpoche, our nature is already Buddha, meaning the emptiness is already Buddha. Why we need to think Buddha present in front of you? Because our mind, okay, our mind need the blessings. Our nature no need the blessings. Our mind is actually is need blessings because blessing actually means the mind is naturally having uh, relax of their own clinging. The true blessing actually means you don't need to meditate so hard, but you actually can have the similar effect of no clinging. That is the called blessings. Okay? So, yeah, so I already mentioned all that. So now another thing. What is the luminosity? The omniscient. The omniscient, the word of wisdom, omniscient, the luminosity is uncreated. Machepa, uncreated, is not created. Namba Majurva is unchangeable, is not changing. Ah. Ngombar tu Majeba is uncompounded, meaning the luminasa itself, we call other word is wisdom, we call word of emptiness, we call Buddha nature, we call omniscient. They are uncreated, unchangeable, and uncompounded. And Buddha, they're all discussion. Bodhisattvas and sattva mass. Actually, bodhisattvas means female, male, anybody called bodhisattvas. It's not really, I don't think so. It's really name of male name. But you don't feel right, then you can call yourself bodhisattva ma and whatever name you want to call. It doesn't matter. So you must wear a armor of Dharma. Armor of Dharma actually means I willingly to listen the true teachings of the Buddha and true teachings of the nature, that I don't have any fear in my heart. I don't want to have any fear in my heart. Whatever I hear, I willingly to listen 100%, and I go beyond my uh, my patience and my understanding beyond myself. So that kind of Dharma armor is very important. Why? Because form, feeling, consciousness, and all is never binded, is never binded, and never liberated. Okay? So the nature of all the aggregates, nature of all the phenomena, they never bind, they never liberated. Meaning, like all of us, we say, Rinpoche, whole purpose of practice is to let go of clinging. But Buddha mentioning here is never bounded and never liberated. What does it mean of that? Because thought is truly exists when it arises. Then you need to say is bounded and liberated. But thought is when arise is actually not really exist at all from the beginning. So that's why you don't need to liberate them. They are liberated by self. The idea is you only can understand when your attachment and clinging is a little bit reduced, then this understanding, non-binded and not liberated and unborn, this three idea you can understand. But you have a present very strong grasping attachment. This idea of non-bounded and not liberated and unborn is going to be not that easy to digestible in your mind, because your existent ego clinging of the shell of your egg that created by your ego clinging is not shattered yet, is not cracked yet. That is the example level thing. So the whole idea, why not bounded? Not because it's unborn. Machi pena, maching, matrovate. Teta, hajo semba semba je koja chimbo gube, tekwa yando koja chimbo koja mebao. So what is actually saying is this: Bodhisattva, Mahasattva. everything is not born, never arise. So because of that reason, they have nothing to abound, nothing to liberate it. Whoever bodhisattva, mahasattvas, wearing a armor, dharma armor to understand, and who go into the true path and practicing in the purely in that meditation, that is actually called a armor. But truly speaking, you don't have the armor too. Meaning, you need to wear the armor to understand, to comprehend. But when you're truly in meditative state, you don't have the armor too. Meaning, the armor you need is before your understanding. When you're in the state, you don't have no idea of armor too. So, what is the Mahayana? Mahayana is like a space. They have no imbalances. They have no clinging. They have nothing to attach to. They have no end, no forward, no end, no beginning, like a great space that is actually called a great vehicle or great Mahayana. You have no beginning, you have no end, and you have no middle. The Mahayana idea of middle way, they're saying that middle way does not stay in the middle. That is a middle way. When you have a middle to stay, that is not middle way. It's a great way of saying of the Chandakirti and Nagarjuna's thoughts to bring out. But that thought does not come from them. It's actually the description of the 8,000 verse Panchaparamitas. They actually mention about that. They have nothing to stay in the middle. That's why you are completely free from all the times. And that's why you call a great vehicle, great Mahayana. Then, so, oh, Rabjor, the discussion, question answer, Rabjor and Sharibu, the question answers. Oh, then bodhisattvas are they're not unborn, but bodhisattvas putting so much effort and being patient to benefit all the sentient being and seeing the suffering and experiencing the suffering, isn't it? And Sharibu says, I don't see bodhisattva, mahasattva going through a struggle and seeing the suffering and going through the struggle. Why? Because when they cease this suffering, when they need to go through that effort and seeing the suffering, that these bodhisattvas cannot be benefit the countless beings. So that's why they cannot see the suffering and the struggle of suffering is not really a presence in the bodhisattva's mind. So what they really mean to say is the true bodhisattvas must practice panchaparamita. Without panchaparamita, without non-clinging meditation, the bodhisattva cannot become a great bodhisattvas. To become a great bodhisattvas, you must be free from your attachment and clinging so you can actually benefit the countless being without any struggle and pain and suffering. So the bodhisattva and mahasattva is a little different. When you have a bodhicitta heart, we are bodhisattvas. Okay, bodhicitta heart meaning may all sentient being free from suffering, cause of suffering, attain enlightenment, all the Buddhahood, and you have that genuine bodhicitta rise and too. You are bodhisattvas, but you are not mahasattvas. And so, so then actually, interestingly, when we practice the bodhicitta, practicing compassion, we always use called mother sentient beings, right? We heard that is all the time. The mother sentient beings is very much highlight by Padu Rinpoche 100 over years ago, mentioned about mother in how important and you need to visualize all sentient being mothers. It's repeatedly, of course, mentioned by many great masters in the past, but Padu Rinpoche is one of the significant. But in the 8,000 verse Panchaparamita, is not only just mentioned about mother. They actually Buddha the discussion saying them you can see sentient being as a mother or father or son or the daughter or husband or man or woman. They mention all the different characters. So as a bodhisattva beginner practitioners, you have an issue with mother or father or brother or sister, first you begin with somebody, then slowly you increases to all the beings. Okay? This is not important of the practice, just highlight something. So I think this is my point today. I think I finished the first chapter of the Panchaparamita. Then the second chapter is called the chapter of the the Brahma, and the third chapter going to be the paramitas and the benefit to the offering to the stupas, and the fourth chapter is the chapter of qualities. So one thing we should know is Buddha actually teaching us what is really crucial to understand. That is the point. So now Buddha going to give many descriptions, methods, practices, how to able to realize this what I'm teaching. Okay. So yeah, so I'm very, very happy and thrilled to able to share Buddha's precious teachings to all of us. And today is the Sakandava full moon I able to begin. So every month, the first week of Saturday, I'm going to talk. So that means next coming Saturday is going to be the series begins. So sometimes I can touch 3 chapter, 4 chapter, sometimes can be 1 chapter. I don't know what going to happen, but this is I'm going to highlight. So what you can do is you can read the sutra chapter, 8,000 verse Panchaparamita. Let's read the first chapter slowly, then digest and practice whatever you can do. I think it's going to be very beneficial. And accumulation merit is very, very important, significantly. And I think you all know because of I think our Sami Peter already mentioning to all of you. So all Avihara is the Guru Rinpoche is one of the place in Nepal, and we able to renovate nicely, and we able to establish, especially in Newari community, have a great culture, a Buddhist culture that actually not really alive in other countries, included Tibet, like how they celebrate, 5 family Buddhas in the main door, and in the above the main door they have 5 family Buddhas drawings. It's just small thing like this. And the Newari community are the ancient students of Guru Rinpoche, and that's why me and all the Newari students and many of students, we slowly able to renovate completely from my family support, and we able to reconnect Guru Rinpoche's one of the Guru Rinpoche's consort is Newari consort. So we able to put her statue there. I have her blessings from Jaya Khyentse Wangpo's reveal. I able to put that in her statue, and very famous Guru Rinpoche, like disciples, and Vajrakilaya Guru is the Kushila Minzu is very famous. So is Newari person. So that's why Newari students over 500, 600 join So I reconnect to them to their ancestors and renovate as a Newari artisans, Newari style. And I able to invite our Jabjituji Nyima Rinpoche, my brother Yangsi Khenze Rinpoche, and my grandfather incarnation, Jabjitu Goje Rinpoche is like that. So this is already done. It's a very significant, how you say, for me and all the people. But now, likewise, we have Sami Guru Lakang in Malaysia. So I think why I want to bring up this to you is giving you the opportunity to sort of revise and reconnect to you to Guru Rinpoche and to support Malaysia Guru Lakang. I think is whatever you can. I think is very good because this, for example, Avihara, I did not do anything telling students and fundraising anything like that. We did completely anomaly level for 5 years, and we done completely. So whatever I do with some meaning behind. So Malaysia and Guru Lakang existent, they have a lot of people, the practitioners there, and they have many potential practitioners going to come, and they're going to have a very beautiful building, and the significant statue is very, very blessed. I have many relics inside. So it's really significant for all of you to connect. And I know sometimes you feel uh, it's unconnected, why I need to do all this. You need to support where the Dharma is more rare. Where the Dharma is more rare, more Dharma is more difficult. You support there, then it's more effective. This is my way of thinking. So many years back, one time, Gyabje Ujin Tobja Rinpoche looking for some resin statues. Then I Guru Rinpoche statues. I said, Rinpoche, why are you looking for resin Guru Rinpoche statue? Then he said, oh, they have few caves in Tibet. They have no statue of Guru Rinpoche. Then I said to Ujin Tobja Rinpoche, don't worry, give me the list, and I will put Guru Rinpoche statue covered with a gold-plated, 3 feet, not just resin for like 1 feet, but really good quality. And I will offer then me and some of my family and all the students. Then we able to put all the statues. Now it's done. Everything's there. Terrifically. So like that, my Indonesian Sangha are very really I don't know how to say, like they're really decent people. They're really nice. Indonesian Sangha are very, very decent, nice people. And I'm just randomly saying that, oh, I want to put Guru Rinpoche statue in Bali. And that time we're not able to have land. And then some of the students put effort, and they found the land, and we're able to put Guru Rinpoche statue. In that particular Guru Rinpoche statue in Bali, I took out and I usually wear Buddha's relic in my neck. I took out the relic, put in a box, and I actually put it in the Guru Rinpoche statue. So that particular Guru Rinpoche statue, in Indonesia, have so many relics inside. I put it there. So then I told them that many students, they want to feel connection. So you can actually look at the QR code. They have a small Guru Rinpoche statue, like 5 inches, that you can make custom. So they could, you invite one Guru Rinpoche, you donate, then they're going to be reciting there, and they put your name forever. So like that. So, make the connection to the students. Like my connection to Guru Rinpoche is make bigger statue and stand in Tibet and put it everywhere, the reciting. So that's why I think I'm giving this precious opportunity to you. Don't look at it as like fundraising, but look at it as is a kind of opportunity for you to connect. And today, in this particular Sakandawa, accumulated merit is very, very important, and to great multiplying, we believe. So this is what I want to share with you. So this Sami Institute, our Sami family put so much effort, and our Jasper put so much effort. Particularly, he's coming up to the mountain, bringing all this camera and all these things. He put a lot of effort, and he actually more than effort is sometimes stressed out because the light go off very easily. So he is stressed out more than this. So this is what I want to talk to you today. Finishing, and see you 1 week later, 6 days later. And okay, and thank you very much, all of you. And this precious accumulation merit and Buddha's blessings, I want to make aspiration, dedication to all the sentient beings, specifically this earth, all these war, famine, and especially the diseases, and more specifically, environment, danger, all these animal dying, and ocean is polluted, everything is polluted. May all of us have some random ideas to everybody have common sense to become clean, and Buddha blessings to all of us to have good heart, good health, and practice well, and especially fulfill all your precious wishes, whatever you have. So with that, we do a short dedication. Jambala bo chitara chamba tang kundu sambo tenyang teshe. Teda kunji jesu dalo sho gewa deda tamji rabdo. Tusum shikbi jawa tamji je ngowa kangla chokdo ngangwa de. Dagi ngewe zawa dikun jang sambo choche rabdo ngowa rechi. Kunsang dorje changche menche ne tenchen zawe lama yenche chi. Tenro tendo molam kangda ba teda tamje tengdre drubare sho tenba jigden kamso chomba da tenba nyewe shindu sarwa tenzen polob darshin jeba yi tenba yoring nebe tashi sho jawa kunji nyelam chikboro jawe yongla tikcho zogba che jawa peme ringlo nganjurbe jalten shokdar chabe tashi sho drube terjin jamso kolo ju dondo chokjuru dejen lingba Renlo chokdu kundu chaba dang pende ke zenge be trashi sho. Teata mane mane mahamana yesu. Teata mane mane mane. Teata mane mane mahamana yesu. Thank you.
We rejoice in your participation today. It was wonderful to share this time and to receive these precious teachings together on this sacred day of Vesak. Rinpoche La, thank you so much for your generous guidance, for helping us create auspicious conditions for our practice, and for teaching in such a clear, practical, and encouraging way. Thank you. Today's teaching will be available to rewatch online for all students of Sami Institute in the teaching library. It will be uploaded in the coming days, and we will send out an email with the link. We encourage you to return to it whenever you'd like some inspiration or support in your practice. The next teaching with Phakchok Rinpoche on repeating the words of the Buddha will be on Saturday, June 6th. We will send out an email shortly with registration details, or you can scan this QR code to register now on Eventbrite. From all of us at Sami Institute, thank you so much for being here today. We rejoice in your attendance and in your ongoing practice. Please stay safe and be well. The chat and audio are now open.
Thank you. Happy
Thank you
Vesak.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jaya. Rejoice, everybody.